trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 My lady and I got my shine. Money in my pocket and we're feeling fine. Radio's loud and we're playing Sublime. I think it's gonna be a good day, my oh my. I can't believe I made it this far, it's a miracle. Floating in the clouds now, used to be miserable. Never looking back since I changed my ways. I'm on that good life tip today. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Baby, we can have it all. We can make love out of waterfalls. I'm living that good life after all. Yeah. La da da da, good life, sitting by the fire. La da day, good life, feeling that breeze.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleeves. Welcome to Bedtime with Bleeves. Little change up. We got all kinds of stuff up here. We got Terra Luna Classic. We got crypto.com. We got Metapolitans. We got that NGN network. We got Volt Inu. We got Bitcoin. We got Decanect. Maybe over here we're gonna have that Bull Run Life. I didn't get finished with it, but yeah. So here we are. Little new setup. I'm trying to change it up every day. Just trying to come up with something different so that everybody sees something new. And thank you for the $100 bomb. That is coming in hot from BRL. CEO 100 says 2023 is the year of BRL. Daily free money for life. AI technology built by Steve that made SHIB and Saitama billion-dollar projects. Don't waste your time with shitcoins. Invest in generational wealth. Well, let's see if that plays out that way, because that's why I got a bunch of money sitting over there. So I think that if that goes the way we all think, then yeah, we're all going to be super, super happy. And listen, price action right now, I think is about $1.69, $1.70, something like that. Been kind of trading sideways in that $1.70 range for the last couple of days. And I think a lot of people have been getting a little bit tired of what it's been doing. And I think that that's a lot of selling yourself just a tiny bit short at this point. And the reason for that is because you can't make an estimation of what something's going to be like in a bear market if it's there for the long term. And I don't think they're overselling any of the stuff that they're doing right now. You know, I think that from what I've been watching, Modi, Jay Foster, Steve, they've all been laying very, very low, just silently working in the background to make cool stuff happen. And when that stuff happens, then I think we're going to really start to see something happen with it. But speaking of big things happening, did anybody else see what just happened with NGN? And I hope that everybody, and by the way, we're going to go down the list right now because I've been talking about NGN for days and days and days and days, right? So that means you had plenty of time to get in. You should be super happy with your position right now. Hey, Bleeves. So what do I think is going to happen to the market tomorrow when Jerome Powell speaks? Do you think he will be dovish? No, he's going to be hawkish. And I don't know that that's going to affect crypto tremendously, but there's still work to do. We're still going to get 2 more rate hikes before we do anything. And we're going to let the rest of it just kind of go along its way for a long time. Good evening, Maddie B in the house. What is going on? Tony P, BRL in the house. The Fed will always do that. Yeah, the Fed is going to be negative. Ryo, what is going on? Will Floki hit the moon? I think Floki is building on the moon. So I'm pretty sure that's already where they are. Yeah, we don't know if Shibarium's coming out on the 14th yet. Luna Wolf in the house. Heather's in the house. What is going on? You are not blocked yet? No. Please don't read this out loud. LOL. My wife's name is Hind. She doesn't believe. Please make her believe. Hind, look, we're getting tired of your shit around here. You need to get your shit together. Listen, and Martin, if you replay this for her, Hind, get your shit together. Start watching the Believes Cryptocurrency channel. Otherwise, you know what's going to happen? Poverty. Come on now. You know better. You should know better. If you don't know better, then Martin, you've been doing a poor job of telling her. So, yeah. What's up, Greg M? Richard Nelson in the house. Callum C. D. Trent Lunkenstein is here. Justin W in the house. Two-Tone Knuckles. What is going on? Design DNA. Sigma. We got the whole crew here tonight. What is going on? Ryan's in the house. OK's here. Juice is in the house. And Isabel is here. I bought in on NGN. Is it a good buy to buy now, more, or wait? So let's go look at NGN right now because god damn. All right, so NGN is currently up 308% on the day. So the question is it going to go up or is it going to go down? Well, here's what happened. I'm reading the chat, and in the chat, there was a bunch of people from Australia that apparently invested last night, and that caused this little run. And then, of course, people started coming in because they saw that, and they continued the price pump. Now, here's what you got to consider. The total market cap here is $350,000, and they just announced the first exchange, which was, you know what? Let's go over here, and you can actually look at it. We'll go to Twitter, and the NGN network had, where is it here? There we go. They had a listing. And by the way, there is another one coming in a couple of days on the listings. But it was, now I got to go back because it's been a few days. Swift Coin, the SWFT coin. And if we go check it out over here, you can see here 48,000 followers. So it's a small but growing chain. Listed in the top 100 of all crypto exchanges, though. So SWFT blockchain is listing NGN token, and they're having a contest and a giveaway to sort of celebrate the upcoming listing. They're going to run a Twitter giveaway from February 6th to February 8th. So there you have it. And then here is the announcement right here. This is the first of what I am being told is many different announcements. Now, originally they were going to start off with a big exchange to create a splash. But then they felt like maybe, what we should do is rather than go to one crypto exchange and then hope for the best, maybe we should hedge our bets and we should go to about 10 different crypto exchanges and then just keep building from there and keep making things go from there. So we got this listing, and then what followed next was this pump. And now time for a few more pumps. So if you're asking me I think at 350,000 market cap, you're in a very good position. Again, I did have a wallet connected. I think Dex Tools is broke, by the way. I get this feeling that Dex Tools is broke because I was doing stuff earlier and it was working just fine. Now it's not. So I'm in for, I have almost 6,000 NGN. So you can take what you will of that. That's, $2,700 off of $116 originally. And remember, I told you guys before, the team gave me $116 worth of tokens, 5,835. That was the condition of me doing this was part of my promotional consideration, marketing, et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm sitting on that right now and waiting for that moment. Now, with 5,835, if this goes up to $1, which just doubles the market cap, then that's 5,835 from where we are right now. And that would be a total market cap of about 800,000. So if it goes to 8 million market cap, that would be 10x from there, which would make it 58,350. So the potential certainly exists for me to get a good return on a small market cap. And look, I don't know what to tell you guys. I do hope that you've been listening to me the whole time, that you settled yourself in and got a good position. Because if you remember when we launched, I think we launched at 2 cents. So, you really have to consider this. We launched at 2 cents on the NGN network, and, rough going for a couple days, trading around 11 cents, but you're up 5x, very small market cap. Nobody has a whole bunch of tokens. It was a small It was a small move, small play. And then all of a sudden things started to take off. And then the next thing you know, here we are at 45 cents from 2 cents. Now, listen, if you ever have an opportunity to get yourself situated and get yourself set up into something at 2 cents and you see it go to 45 cents, then you're winning. It doesn't matter how much, by the way. It doesn't matter how much you are winning. So I hope everybody got themselves a little bit of NGN so that we can see this thing grow. By the way, for those of you that don't know, NGN is an AI technology with the goal. The goal of NGN is to become a cryptocurrency AI that will track and help you to decide what is the best investment for you. So you're going to put in a crypto. You're going to tell them what crypto you're thinking about, and they're going to tell you whether or not, based on the AI technology, based on the positive or negative sentiment, based on the patterns on the charts, whether or not it is a good investment or not. Not to be outdone, by the way, let's just move on to the big dog in the room while we're at it here. And Volt continues to absolutely volt it. 1,771. I think I think my Volt is now worth close to 20 grand, something like that. But remember, it was from $100, a little bit over $100 is how much I put into Volt originally. So I'm now up officially 100x from where it is. And I haven't taken, I haven't sold yet. So I got my tokens transferred from the whatchamacallit a few months back, the V2 migration. Haven't sold anything yet. So I'm just going to kind of hold on and, let's just see what happens. You know what I mean? Like the best thing that happens is life changing. The worst thing that happens is I lose $150. At the end of it anyway. Right. So, no big deal, but definitely up pretty big right now. This is 1771 and I have 8.3 billion tokens. So that should tell you, like $16,000, 17 maybe. I don't know. But cool story, bro. Right. So anyway, let's get into the news. Let's get into the pre-markets. Let's get into what is going on right now. Everything is in the positive right now. Not exceedingly positive, but positive nonetheless. That's a good sign. All of the big tech stocks, all of everybody who needed to report has done their reporting. Now we simply await. This is really kind of a calm period of time where what is going to happen next, because we don't have any earnings reports, any major earnings reports coming due for another, 45, 50 something days. Not until April 1st is when it's going to start. We're not going to get the big ones until May 1st. So, we're in a good position right now, potentially for crypto to have a little bit of momentum. Now, moving over here, you can see that crypto has not been very kind. Now, it did have a little bit of a pump earlier today, but was not sustained. And why wasn't it sustained? Well, I really think that this is just a moment where profits are continuing to be taken. People are continuing to sell. The first people that you had selling were the people who were just going to take their money, and those are your day traders and your scalpers, and those are the guys that are getting the money. And then you have other people who are looking at it and they're watching what happens. Then they're reactionary. Then that, of course, drops the price, and then that allows the shorts to kick in. And then you start to see longs getting liquidated, and then you see the price drop down just a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Then you see some more buy-in, some more opportunity, and then you see some people who bought in down a little bit lower than where they are right now, saying, you know what, maybe right now it's time for me to just kind of exit and get on the sideline, which is exactly what I did. I had sold at 1670, and I've been sitting on the sidelines for a day and a half. I just entered again a trade a few minutes ago at 1612 on Ethereum. So I got 10 ETH at 1612 just a little while ago, and we're now at 1623. I'm probably not going to play it for very long. Probably going to just see how this market goes. But when I saw it hit this resistance point down here, I decided that this was the opportunity to get in right here at 1609. When I made the trade, it was 1612, right about here. So I figured that this is the downward sort of pressure, the downward sort of momentum. I figure if we're going to have a pump and we're going to have a move back to the upside, then I figure that maybe we'll probably get this pump up here. Might play around in this little area a little bit longer, but I felt like we probably overall still have some really good sentiment, because there's a lot of people that are looking at these charts saying the same things that I'm saying, which is we're not done yet, and this is going to continue moving. And the reasons for that we're going to get into as we progress through all of this, and as we go along. But again, I want to remind you guys, Metapolitan is going to be coming very soon. Super enamored, by the way, with everything, with all the activity on this screen, even though, listen, this is just, what is it? JavaScript, maybe it's HTML5, whatever it is. But all the stuff moving around all over this thing, and it's repetitive. I know that it is, but it's certainly fun for me to just kind of watch this thing do its. So don't forget, Metapolitans is coming. We still have probably 2 months. We're a ways off before anything big happens, but keep it in mind, because I don't want anybody to miss out on this one. I do think this one's going to be a big one. Next, Bank of America CEO says the company is preparing for a potential U.S. debt default. And this is where it starts to get interesting. What would happen if the U.S. starts to default on debt? So the Bank of America CEO, Brian Moynihan, says the company is preparing for possible U.S. debt default. Now, here's the thing. Every bank is constantly preparing for the eventuality of something like that might happen. So it's entirely possible that there is a default, especially when you can't get anything passed. Look, you've got a Congress right now. You've got a House of Representatives that would rather set fire to America and burn it than allow Joe Biden to pay bills. That's probably dangerous, which actually good for crypto, by the way. So let's not discount that. But in these kinds of situations, cooler heads do and have always prevailed. And I do think that when we get down to it, I think people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I do think that Kevin McCarthy, I think those kind of people right there probably will agree to some kind of debt limit increase. That they're going to prevent the U.S. from defaulting on the debt. But there is a radical, and even more radical, wing of that party led by people like Matt Gaetz, who will probably would prefer that everything just burn to the ground rather than let Joe Biden get a victory. Because listen, you either love America or you love some kind of ideology. And at this point, a lot of those guys are kind of ideologues. And some of that, even though, for example, some of the stuff that they're thinking about might be good for America, might be best for America, but defaulting is not best for America. Creating more problems in the economy is not good for America. So there has to be a solution and there has to be a compromise. So when all the ideologues get together, hopefully they can come up with some kind of compromise, and then we can start dealing with what these guys want to do with the government, and then we can have some real votes and people, the government can start to move. But for right now, we're waiting on U.S. debt default. Don't think we're in I don't think there's a concern, but you never know. The big news for the day: Binance is suspending USD deposits and withdrawals on February 8th. And if you guys did not know, it's a very, very small amount, an almost minuscule number. The fact is, they're just going to do it. The statement says, we are temporarily suspending USD bank transfers as of February 8th. Affected customers are being notified directly. Moreover, stating that only 0.01% of our monthly active users leverage USD bank transfers. So you're talking about 1/10 of 1%. Or I'm sorry, you're talking about 1/100th of 1%, because that's not something that they really do. So I don't think this is a big deal, but it is newsworthy and it is out there. Next up, there's another good one right here. Bitcoin small addresses have been rapidly growing. Here's what that means. Now, the number is up to 620,000 new small addresses. We did talk about this yesterday, by the way. So the question is, what does it all mean? And what this means is that we are starting to get retail back into crypto. We're starting to see people buy and hodl small amounts of Bitcoin, hoping that it turns into a little bit of a larger amount of Bitcoin. And that is absolutely fantastic for the state of cryptocurrency. We're also seeing a pickup in the amount of people that are getting into Shiba Inu, which I keep telling you is the other one that's going to matter the most. And Daily Hodl has an article up here that says, analyst who correctly called the Bitcoin dip says traders should prepare for the final push. Updates outlook on Ethereum and Dogecoin. Now, I want you to pay attention to this article. This guy was pretty right about some of the things that he was saying. And wow, here we got another one here. Mr. Cryptocurrency in the house with a $100 bomb. It's 2023 and the year of NGN, the new era of community projects. Tons of announcement coming this week, multiple centralized exchange listings, and just 10 days old. This team is for real, and community is amazing. The network is primed for takeoff, and today will look like the flat line soon. You know what? It might be it might be time for BRL and NGN to start talking about how they can do business together. Because listen, I think that one of the important parts at some point is how BRL makes money and how NGN makes money, and we have an established way for NGN. But one of the things that that we really could use for BRL is different revenue streams, and in that regard, one of those revenue streams could be creating some sort of DAO function that would allow for some of the investments to be using that AI that NGN is developing in order to create maybe a bot to do some investing or something like that. I mean, short term, long term, I don't really know the answer to that, but there's some possibilities here. So but there you go. Mr. Cryptocurrency is already a top 12 holder in BRL CEO 100. So there you have it. Maybe you guys can do something together. And CEO 100 says, I'm here and listening. So y'all gonna kiss or what? Like, Jesus Christ, let's get this out. Here comes the doc. Here comes the docking. Anyway, so back to this. Daily Hodl says this, and here's the important part. A trader who correctly called Bitcoin's recent dive below 23,000 says he's now ready to re-enter the market. The pseudonymous analyst known to the industry as Smart Contractor revealed he switched to stablecoins last week in anticipation of Bitcoin diving to as low as 22,000. Now that Bitcoin has retraced to a recent high of about 24.2 to the 22,700 range, the trader says the top crypto is low enough to justify once again diving into the market. His new Bitcoin target is above 25,000, leading towards the W5 on Bitcoin being underway. Now taking out those 25,000 highs, this might be the final push higher on daily before we go to a deeper decline in the next few months, maybe the most of it, in my opinion. And I mean, basically what he's saying is that, this might be it for right now. This might be where we start to consolidate and start to come back down. So Smart Contractor says he's also beginning to accumulate Ethereum. Interestingly, ETH has pulled back from the highs in only 3 waves, finding support near the 0.618. So ETH may be gearing up for another leg. Not only that, but ETH Bitcoin still look bearish in my opinion, which means maybe Bitcoin has bottomed here too and outperforms. I'm slowly gaining exposure again. So we do have somebody who's real positive on Bitcoin and Ethereum right now. And Ethereum does have, it's called now Chapella, I think it is, like Dave Chapella. Shanghai and the Capella upgrades are now being merged so that Shanghai and Capella are now being called Chapella. And that merge is going to happen together, and they are both used for the unlocking and the allowing of people to withdraw their Ethereum for selling purposes from what was going on before, which was the staking that they've been holding for a long period of time, since 2020, by the way. So let's move on. Is China second guessing its cryptocurrency ban? And guess what just happened? Former central bank advisor Huang Yiping called for a reevaluation of China's complete ban on cryptocurrency related operations. The use of cryptocurrencies in China continues to grow despite restrictions. China's ban on crypto activities may result in missed opportunities for innovation in cutting-edge technology like blockchain. So we're now starting to see a crumbling of a lot of different things in China, one of them being their ban on cryptocurrency. So let's see what the next few months produce, and we'll know where to go from there. And then finally, Veteran trader Tony Vase issues a Bitcoin alert, says Bitcoin went up way too far and way too fast. Now that's, by the way, makes perfect sense, but here's the important part, right? Veteran crypto trader Tony Vase says Bitcoin is now struggling to sustain its rally after seeing a significant increase in value over the past months. In a new video, Vase tells his 123,000 YouTube subscriber, not bragging, punk ass, that the flagship crypto asset is facing heavy resistance as it approaches the 25,000 level. Here's the thing. We're still approaching that 25,000 level. So you can at least imply that 25,000 is still in the cards, even from somebody here who's telling you that, you know, there might be some problems and some structural issues about how fast it went up. The weekly chart is exactly what we're expecting it to be, slowing again and struggling to break 25,000. We were back at under 24,000. I'm expecting a bit of a pullback over the next few weeks. We could hit that 25,000 mark. I would be surprised if we break right through it and go higher. So I'm looking for either consolidation or a bit of a pullback. Vase highlights that the King crypto's impressive gains happened within a very short period of time. From a low of 16,272 in November, Bitcoin rallied to a high of 24,229 earlier this month, a nearly 50% rise in a few months. This thing went up way too far, way too fast. So, decent idea. It's a decent idea that is the case. So we're going to be tuned in to see exactly what happens over the next little while. I'm pretty convinced that we're still on the run and it's going to continue to move. So, and again, NGN's got that announcement over there. Now, moving back over here, you can see NGN sitting at 4507, up 323% on the day. One of the things, by the way, this is going to be a pain in the ass tonight. This number is going to flip and it's going to go way back down because, as you can see here, a lot of this buying was last night. So 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, all the way up here, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. As you start moving up, unless it continues to make that big move, then this number is going to start to diminish and you're going to see it decline a little bit. And it won't be a decline of the value, but it would be nice if tonight some other overseas investors kind of pumped in, because this was brought to you in part by an Australian whale group that saw the opportunity, recognized what's going on, probably watch me, you know what I mean? Like probably just checking out the old Believer, see what's up, and decided to get in on this. And yeah, we're gonna moon this bitch. You know what I mean? Floki 3340 now trading at a 306.7 million market cap, which is good enough to put it very, very close, by the way, to the top 100 cryptos in the let's go look here, top 100. Let's go down to number 100 down here, and you can see that it's trading at 385 million. So it's about 85 million away from being a top 100 crypto. So shout out to Floki for finally getting it done. Like, it's been a long time coming. And I mean, you know, when you get on a run like this and you go from this to this, that's a big, big, big move. Volt still up 1761. BRL $1.69. Man, I was a penny off. Are you kidding me? I was 1 penny off in what I was saying. 1364 for Kato. Saitama 2609. Saitama still just consolidating. It broke out to the upside, by the way, before it just continued on. So now we got to look at that form and kind of repeg exactly what this is. It did not play out to the best of its advantage. So we'll see what happens. SHIB is at 1411. Bone dropping back down to $1.79. Had a very, very, very nice run all the way up to, what was it, 220. So retracing back down. MMAI 3821. Terra 3096. And we are past the yellow line, by the way, that line of demarcation where the giant sell-offs happen. That has happened at this point. So it is okay to start investing again. And you may have an opinion whether you like or don't like Terrarium. You can decide that for yourself. And if you don't like it, that's fine. But there's still 3.2 million liquidity in this project. So Terrarium, that's not going anywhere. So it might be running low and the trading might not be. But guess what? There's a gigantic floor that's sitting right here. And at some point that does flip. I told you it was going to happen on Saitama. It happened on Saitama. Now I'm telling you it's going to happen on Terrarium. It's just a matter of time at this point. And I believe somewhere around the 14th of this month, 8 days from now, they will be enabling trading in the United States. Don't hold me to that. I think I saw an allusion to that on their Twitter page. So I do believe that we're getting there. It's coming very shortly. That it took a little bit longer than they expected, but then trading is going to be opened up for US. Cult still struggling at 87.42. RBIF just really kind of like I think that whatever the run was, we keep getting like little inklings that it's about to pump again. But I think whatever this big run up was, I think that's done now. So now we just need to consider like what is the next step. WAGME, there's gonna be a live stream tomorrow on WAGME. Scott Herman is going to be running. And by the way, there's going to be, this is big, by the way, there's going to be some big names that are playing WAGME in the next game. I think it's going to be at 1:30 or 2:30 tomorrow. As I get information, I'll post it so you guys can see. Lillian 57.88, Decanect 14.43. Now Decanect is down 4.6%, but I mean, look where it is. It's still way up here. And the all-time high, by the way, the all-time high over here was 1851. It almost hit its all-time high. So if you haven't already, get back in Decanect and let's get that thing to the all-time high. We got 3 more exchanges coming out over the next little while. Trade volume continues to move up. BCB 1220. Maybe the shine has worn off here. But this has been a good performer for this entire run, and it's interesting to see it start to move in the direction that it's moving right now. Of course, obviously that's not sustained. So now we got to look at what's it really gonna do next? Where does it kind of and I guess maybe just something like that. Maybe out here a little bit. Maybe we'll get some support off of it, but that part right there is completely done. And I do think that there's still some positivity in it. And I do still think that it's got some decent momentum. You really go look at the market cap. It's $10 million market cap. And the volume of trading is $157,000. So there's enthusiasm for BCB. We're just at the point right now where it probably, just like Bitcoin, just like we were talking about Bitcoin, it ran too fast and it made too many people too much money. And it turns out that when you 10x something, that you find out that you really actually have a whole bunch of paper-handed Jeets that are like, I'm sorry, but I gotta buy myself a Red Bull, and they need $10,000 to do that, because Red Bull's expensive. So I mean, you find out who your diamond hands really are when you get a little pump like this. You know what I'm saying? The last time we got a pump on Volt, my bag was worth $30-something thousand, and I didn't sell any of it. And some of you might be like, whoa, how would you not sell? Well, because I'm here for the long haul and I didn't need the money. You know what I mean? So Hulk is at 30.76 and Kabosu back down to 20.21. Now, Kabosu is still not in the buy zone, by the way. Oh, shit. Yes, it is. So Kabosu's in the buy zone. It just hit it over here around 17, 18, 1900. I would venture to say that there's probably another. I mean, look at this thing. It just continues to pump, right? Is that the last pump, though? That's the question that you always have to ask. Is the pump that we just got, is that going to be the final one? So we're going to go look at the, let's call it a 1 hour here. And you can see here on the 1 hour that a few hours ago, we touched that trend line down here. So it's on the move back up. The last time it made that run a couple days ago, it got up to 35. So you're looking right there at about a 40% run up. But to get to the all-time high, you're looking at about a, 150% run up. So, and the enthusiasm, 136,000 in trading volume, still happening. 2 million market cap. The little dog continues to do what can only be described as little dog shit. So there we are. And now we got Crow. Again, Crow's just not showing strength right now. I think that the market conditions are not optimal for Crow. You can see we were using this, and I was using this little spot right here as kind of the support line because it made perfect sense on this. But now that I'm staring at it and now that we're watching this play out over a period of time, you probably, like right in here, because I see like there's so much right here. Like I think this might be, that was, I guess, what do you call it? A momentum line. That momentum line is kind of dead here. But this line seems to still be kind of holding other than this little spot right here. So I guess we could probably say that we're still in an upward trend. And maybe it'll continue to move. If we get one more top off here at that 9-cent level, that would feel, excuse me, that would feel really good because that would kind of confirm that we're still in this little wedge pattern, and that wedge pattern does tend to break to the upside. So, maybe we'll see something happen pretty soon. Now that we are done with all of that, now it's time to really dig in because this is the important part, and this is the craziest shit you've ever seen, right? This is the absolute craziest shit that you have ever seen here. Okay. You're about to watch, you're about to witness the strength of street knowledge or some shit like that. Whatever they say. Where is it? No. Where is it? No. Goddamn what I do here. All right. So we want the 50 and the 200 SMA. Here we go. Okay, so let me. Jesus Christ, give me 1 second here to fix this. I don't know. I saved this fucking thing here, and we don't want the 20. We just want the 50, and we're gonna make the 50 a blue line, and we're gonna make it double thick over here, and then we're gonna make the 200. We're gonna make that one green, and we're gonna also make that one. We're going to make that one thick as well. Okay, so here is the 50 and the 200 SMA. The 200 SMA is the green line, and the 50 is the blue line. Now, as you can see, when you see this on the 1 hour, you don't really. The blue represents upward movement. The green being over the 200, that represents a bearish sentiment. So when you see the green overtake and you see the green above, then you start to see downward sort of pressure, right? Well, here's the deal. Here you have, this is going to get crazy, okay? What you just saw right here is what is called the golden cross. And zoom in because it has confirmed it is happening right now. We have the golden cross has crossed over to. This is a completely bullish sign. And I want to go back here and I want to show you, this is the blue line. Now, when the blue line goes over the green line, there's a couple times that happens on the daily charts, right? So we see it over here. And when we did it over here, it went here to, let's do it from here to here. That was 50% in short order. The time before that was this gigantic move right here. And that crossover was right here. So from here, the crossover was right in this spot, and it went up 652%. So massive sort of move right there. Then you see this one moved up, just kind of popped in, popped out. But the one right before that, you see right here, the crossover happened, and you see we went from here to up here, which was 180%. 160%. So that was another big move. And then you come down here and you start looking at some of these older ones. And you can see here, this one was over right there. And that move was long-term move, by the way, but that move was 6,973%. So when this crosses over, and it rarely does, but it does, this tends to be an incredibly bullish signal. This is your golden cross. So if that's the case, then that would mean that crypto is about to go on a massive sort of bull run. That's what makes the most sense, right? Because the golden cross is here, and we are literally at that moment, right? Well, here's the problem. You see this shit right here? Let's go zoom in on this one because you're not going to believe this one. So converging at the same time is a weekly death cross. So we have seen this blue running rampant, and we've seen this gigantic move to this upside over here, right? This blue has been up here for what's the percentage on this one? So we go back here, and it's so far back that it's always been this way, right? It's so far back, it's always been this way. We have no idea what's about to happen here in crypto, but this is an absolute death cross on the weekly charts. And if this is going to confirm right here, as it's happening, like it's as we zoom in, you're going to see like here we are with the inevitable crossover. So what happens now? Do we go? I mean, like, is this going to be where we just fall off the cliff, or does that one day hold sway? I mean, you would really think that the weekly is the one that would matter the most, right? You can even go over here and look at your death crosses on the monthly, and there's nothing there. It's just always been, So yeah, we're about to enter crazy town. We are about to enter crazy town. So I don't know what's going to happen, but something is going to break one way or another. So you got you got a golden cross on the one day, and you got a death cross on the weekly, and that is bad news. So let's see what happens. And there it is, like when 1337, like that, isn't that the real question? Isn't that the one that we all want to ask? You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, let's go over here and look at real quick BRL and go see what are my rewards. I think it was $57 was my reward on BRL. So let's go check that out. Connect and stake $59. So a couple of dollars today. Can't beat that. Now, obviously, you want to see a little bit more volume here. You want to see a lot more things happening. But by the way, NFA, not financial advice, not financial artificial intelligence, NFAI. Come on. Imagine AI, CAI. You think people are into AI? By the way, AGIX is up 700% for the year. NGN continuing to pump, now up to 45.74. So it's not ending; it is just continuing. So hopefully we'll get to a million or two market cap, have a little consolidation. By the way, this when it goes up, you find out who is actually diamond handed, right? Not a whole lot of investors, but there are some investors, and we're going to find out whether they are a bunch of paper-handed hoes or whether they are a bunch of strong diamond hands, and we're going to find out pretty soon. Because again, at 2 cents, this is a 21x. I mean, like we're up 21x on this. This is kind of a big deal. 22x. So being up 22x is nothing to sneeze at. You know what I mean? So we'll see how this whole thing plays out. So let's close this out and let's see what's going on. Hope everybody likes this new thing over here, by the way. Not sure we're going to keep doing it, but I just wanted to do it for a day. And then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. There you go. So what's everybody up to? What do we got going on here? If you got any questions or anything like that, you can ask it in chat right now. We are at the yo, what's up portion of the broadcast. What are your thoughts, Believes? Do you think we are about to pump? I don't see. Look, I still think we're going to get the 25,000, but a lot of people are saying, like we're starting to show some weakness where we had been having a lot of we've been showing a lot of strength for a long period of time, and now it's starting to look like the edges are starting to wear on crypto. And that being said, like that generally doesn't mean something great. So we may not have we may not be much going on. So what's going on, guys? Can you check Luna Classic? Yes, I can. Luna Classic was on this pump over here I still think it's got some upside, probably to 22. I put a line up here that said 22.4 is probably where it is. It's still kind of just rolling in this channel. We don't really need the SMA for this one right now. Money flows going to the outside right now, so we probably see if it continues to the red, then we're probably going to see it come back down and test the 17.2 area. Hopefully, it'll bounce back up and we'll get back in positive money flow, but we're not yet. USTC back down to 30 cents, back down to 3 cents. And just we got to have some good sentiment. We got to have some good, we got to have some good news coming, and we haven't really had any good news. Now that's actually not bad, by the way. It's not a bad thing for us to not really have a whole lot of news, because that just means that these guys are working diligently to make something happen. And you can remember Jacob Gadikian, I think his name was. He was on the L1 team. Like, this dude was taking nude photo, like he was doing nude videos of himself. Like, the guy was going off the deep end. Like, chicks dig me when I'm buff and hairy. You know what I mean? Like, let me do a video here and go, what's going on, guys? Without a shirt on. Like, no, come on now. Come on, man. Come on. And also, Lunk DAO is no longer part of Luna Classic. So, and you know that Lunk DAO and Jacob Gadikian were not part of it, because as soon as they left, this happened. So, it literally, crypto celebrated because those two guys were not part of the team anymore. I don't know why. It was coincidence, by the way. I do know why. It was coincidence, but it's kind of funny though. So I don't think that we have really any kind of real sentiment here, but we do have a requirement that they start talking about how to do the repeg, and the repeg is going to be USTC. And it looks like we're probably going to pass this raise validator minimum. It looks like it's starting to gain a little traction here. That's going to fail. But it says, calling to all validators to engage in USTC repeg initiative since the crash back in May 22, who's been mostly on Luna Classic, and we believe that it was the wrong approach. We believe that the community should pay attention to repegging the USTC to $1, as this seems to be possible. It's not possible. God damn it. Fuck my life, man. Look, mate, you know what? Let me not even say it. Okay, these guys do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just do whatever, and let's see what happens. And if it doesn't work, then it all crashes and burns, and we're just moving on, right? So here's what I'm gonna say: let's do it, and let's see what happens. The current supply of USTC is 9.8 billion, and Lunk is 6.8 trillion. So, and this guy. So this is somebody who just sucks. This guy sucks. This guy sucks. He sucks. God damn it. Oh, man. All right. So the guy, he's using rudimentary. Okay, it's not going to pass. It doesn't matter. It's not going to pass. But this is a rudimentary way of someone thinking that they've just solved a problem that doesn't exist. Now, here's the problem. USTC has a debt attached to it. Okay. It lost a whole lot of money for a whole lot of people, and there are a lot of people still holding on to a lot of tokens. Now, consider this. If I, let's say I had 1 million tokens right now. Okay. If I have 1 million tokens right now, God damn it. All right, whatever. If I have 1 million tokens right now, here we are. If I have 1 million tokens of USTC because I had $1 million of USTC, you cannot take my 1 million tokens away from me in order to fix the problem that exists with USTC. That is to say, my 1 million USTC tokens, you have to leave my 1 million alone, and then you have to go to everybody else, and you have to minimize their holdings. So, which creates another problem unto itself, right? because now I'm holding on to $1 million and I have an inordinate amount of this supply. But let's say Believes, like me, I have, let's say I have 10,000 USTC, right? And you want to repeg it. And what you're doing is instead of 10,000, you're going to give me 500 tokens for my 10,000, right? Because that's the only way to reduce the supply. And that's the only way that you can reduce the supply and make it fair to get it back to $1. That's the only way this can be done. And you know what? Fuck you guys. Not sharing my screen. You know what? My screen's not for sharing sometimes. How about that? How about that? If everybody was worthy, then the screen would share itself. How about that one? So anyway, so we're kind of, it's incredibly difficult, right? Because there are so many people that are owed money off of USTC, and you just can't. You just can't. His face was on a 65-inch TV. What about now? Ooh, 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 ooh. What about now? There we go. All right. So you can't just take away people's money, right? And if you're going to repeg it back to $1 and I have 1 million tokens, well, you can't just give me 5,000 tokens and say, here, you had $1 million. Now you got $5,000 or $50,000, whatever the number is. You can't just take my $1 million away. Like that shit's crazy. So that's the problem that you run into with USTC. And that problem is still going to continue to exist. There has to be a moment in time where you can say any purchase that was made before, like they're going to have to do something where any purchase that was made of USTC before a certain date, before it depegged, those people are going to have all of their tokens still. And then everybody else is going to have a reduced supply. Otherwise, you're just writing it all off, and you can't really do that. I don't think, because you know what? I don't know what the technicals of it would be. I mean, you would basically be in default of the value of USD. Like, there's just no way. Like, this is not about Luna Classic, right? This is about Luna Classic and Terra. And Terra is now called USTC. So, this has to be about both of those tokens, and you have to find a way, like I just said, to make it whole. So, I guess that's what's going to have to be done. So it'll be interesting. I'm going to be fascinated to read all of the stuff that they talk about over the next little while to try to figure out the way that they're going to go about. You know what? Talking shit about me. I'm going to hide everybody's comments. How about that? So. And my big ass head up back in here. So they're going to be, they're going to do some interesting stuff, I think, over the next little while and figure out a really good plan, I would think, to come up with a way to handle this situation. Again, respecting the fact that they really have to do something for that whole USTC group. So, the price will be raised gradually and be collateralized by the validators, which inherently means that the blockchain takes care of USTC, but that's not true. It's not true. You still burn. So if the price is raised gradually, Kenneth, in order for it to be raised gradually, then that would mean that the market cap, because there's 9 billion tokens, that would mean the market cap would have to be $9 billion on USTC, and that's not going to happen. See, that's the problem. And it doesn't matter, right, but that doesn't matter. Again, like the problem in itself is that USTC was the dollar peg. Like, that was basically guaranteed money. So somehow or another, you owe those people. So I'll be interested to see how they play it out. I'm going to certainly be interested to see how this whole thing evolves from where it is. And let's get back over here. How is Volt looking? Volt is looking like a champ right now. Volt was trading at about 1750 just a second ago. It's now up to, oh, look at this. It's almost like it just beat the shit out of England. Look at this. Volt, look at it. Volt took over. It just beat the shit out of England. Volt is in the middle of the American Revolution. It is 1776 right now. Alexander Hamilton. Oh, my God. So what did I miss? Virginia, my home sweet home. I want to give you a kiss. Oh, man. Right. Kenneth, I understand what you're saying. I'm not understanding it. You don't have a right to burn my million tokens. You don't have a right to burn. If I have USTC, if I have, and they were called Terra before, if I had $1 million, you don't have the right, because it was a stable coin. You don't have the right to take my $1 million away from me. That's the point. If I hold on to that million under that premise, you cannot burn. You can't contractually, you can't legally just burn it and say, hey, you're out of it. You're stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't do that. So that's where they're going to run into at least a little bit of an issue. And I think that they'll probably have to do it by date. But again, I'm just guessing, because there has to be a fix. Obviously, I just don't know when and where that fix is. Let's, you know what? So my wallet is connected, and then the swap is enabled, but I don't have. It says connect wallet, and I can't connect wallet. So I don't know what's going on, but I can't connect my wallet. So crypto is broken. That's it. The end. And I just got somebody said Bitcoin pumping. So let's go see what is going on over here. Is Bitcoin pumping? No, money flow is still in the out. So yes, it's moving to the upside, but off of 22.7, off of this dip down to 22.6. But we're still looking at, but we did have a crossover. So maybe we'll see something happen right here. But we got red in the money flow, so money's coming out of it right now. And then we've got this little crossover that looks like it might be happening on the 1 hour. If we go over here to the shorter term, we still haven't seen it cross over on the 30-minute. So there's still no confirmation. 15-minute, we got a crossover, but that 15-minute crossover here, that's kind of sideways trading. So the 2 hour, we're still in the pump in the 2 hour. On the 4 hour, we got a little ways to go before it starts to correct itself. And on the 1 day chart, we got the same thing. We're still heavy in the red, and we're still not back into positive flow. So we're not really on a good move yet. Now, the saving grace to this, by the way, is that when we talk about this and we look at the weekly flow, this weekly flow is still in the green pretty well, and we still have this blue over the signal line. So at least the weekly still looks good, but I think as we zoom in, you can see here, like you can probably make out right about here, it starts to shift a little bit straighter as it was going up here, and this one is moving up. So as you can see right here, they're probably going to they're not too long. We're going to see them coming together, and that's going to be that bear sentiment that is going to send this market back down. So we want to make that we want to make that not happen. We certainly want to see that not be the case. But here's what we need. It's very simple. We got to see some more pump out of SHIB. We got to see some more pump out of Bitcoin, and we got to see continued momentum and profitability in the market. As long as we do that, we're going to be just fine, right? So let's please tell me I'm sharing this shit. Okay. Gotcha that time. So US dollar is going to dump. Yeah, that's probably right. That's the US dollar is too high anyway. So how high? Snoop Dogg, you know what I mean? It was at $1.03 earlier. Yeah, it's $1.03 right now. So that was a big pump. That was a big pump. It bounced off of it literally bounced off of $1, the 100 line. And then was off to the races for a little bit. So yeah, it's coming back down. We got the red money flow. The money flow is back in the red right here, looking deep, as a matter of fact. So there's a nice little dump happening right there. So hopefully that's going to mean something positive. But let's go to the Korean index. The Korean index is looking good for the day. Chinese index is actually looking good for the day. Dow, by the way, look, the Dow did not end in the positive. If you look over here, God damn it, you can see that the Dow ended down 35 on the day, but it fought a long time to get on a little bit of a run. So I think that we did a good job overall on the Dow. So We'll see how this all plays out over the next couple days. And then finally, let's pop into just for a goof over here, CoinGlass, and let's see what it looks like on the 24-hour. So it looks like the bears, Jesus Christ, it's a toss-up. It is an absolute toss-up, and liquidations over the last 24 hours, 67 million, and it looks like, okay, so this is not a great sign, but let's take it for what it is. This has been 2 straight days of massive longs getting liquidated by big margins, by the way. And we saw that over here, but every once in a while that peppers in, and you can see it just kind of has a flow to it, right? So maybe on that flow, maybe we're going to see some big shorts getting liquidated real soon, because anytime it runs this low right here, you tend to see some positive movement coming back down. So it's a battle. It's a nonstop battle. So hopefully throw some capital into this, get some pump going on, and then the next thing you know, we start liquidating some longs. And let's go look what the liquidation rush says. If there's anything at all of consequence on liquidation rush, it's probably not going to be very much. We got longs being liquidated. There hasn't been a look. This has been 3 hours since some liquidations have been happening, and they were longs. So the shorts are still in control. That's not a great sign so far. I don't see any shorts being liquidated here. Long. So we are not back to in that pump zone. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's we need some more capital come in. Hopefully this bounce right here won't get stopped at 1.025. But hey, if it does, then we still get this pump up to 1650 on Ethereum, which means I make a couple $100. So that's enough for me. So anyway, that is my time. I hope that you guys had fun tonight. I sure did. I gotta go. Hi, pretty baby. I got this little goddamn dog. Come here, girl. I know. It's horrible. She is such a baby. You can't pick her up at all. So anyway, so yeah, we're gonna take her for a walk, and stop. Hi. No. I don't respect you. No, stop it. All right. Anyway, so I got to go take her for a walk. She's crawling on me now. So this is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I'm always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate everybody. And we'll talk to you again very, very soon. I will see you guys for Breakfast with Bleeves in the morning. Be ready to be ready for me to explain why we pumped. Let's do that. What do you think? We're going to pump. I know it. We're going to pump, or we could dump. We might dump, but we're going to pump, right? Or dump.
I'm looking for the good life. Sitting on top of the world. I want to be shining.